Hey everyone, how's it going? Matt Jarbo here, $3 Theater, and my God, Book of Boba Fett. Here we are, coming up on the finale. These are my thoughts about what the finale of the season is going to be. I don't even know what the show is at this point in time. And I don't say that necessarily as a negative. I mean, there is definitely some critique there. Like, what are you doing? You guys got to fill me in here on what's going on. I need to be aware of this because otherwise, what have I been investing my time into? What is the end game here? And the setup on the show has been one of Boba kind of reinventing himself, coming into a redemption arc, wanting to get revenge on the death of the Tuscans who took him in, wanting to rule with respect as the daimyo of Mos Espa, realizing that Bib Fortuna was kind of a bitch and had no real power. Everyone just kind of like let him do his thing without killing him while they carved everything else up. And now, you know what? The Pikes are coming in and they're running spice and they're making sure that they want to have control over everything. You know, big corporate mobster greed, if you will. And Boba here is kind of caught in the middle because he's a thorn in their side. Although he doesn't really have to be, all things considered. I think like he realizes that the Pikes were the ones who were behind the death of the Tuscans. So I do feel that is something to do with that. But the character of Boba, what people, this is the problem. What people want to see is they want to see more of Boba going full ham, which is what we saw in Mandalorian season 2 when he first got his armor back and he straight took out all of those stormtroopers. That's what everybody wants to see. The only inclination of that we've gotten in the season was in episode 1 when he fired off the wrist rocket at the one guy, the one assassin, blew him up, and then in episode 4 when he uses Slave 1 to completely eviscerate those bikers. Other than that, maybe fighting the Ravagers or whatever they were called. You know, I think that was Tashi Station is where he was at. So, I mean, there's been a couple things here and there that he's done, but for the most part, we haven't gotten that type of elite bounty hunter fighting vibe that a lot of people have been waiting for, that we've been wanting to see. And maybe this has everything to do with us we've built up Boba Fett as a character in our minds, and they're trying to kind of like downplay him a little bit, but I think they're also leading into something. There's going to have to be a moment where he gets so pissed off that he goes full ham. He goes full Boba Fett. And that's what I think people are waiting for, because if they don't deliver on that here, then this show will probably be seen as a failure. It's already being seen as a failure by a lot of people who make money, who profit off of trying to frame everything as a failure, unless it is universally loved across the board. I would argue, though, that the last couple episodes of Boba Fett, which have done very well in the Nielsen ratings, definitely have a lot to do with what was brought into the show. And the fact that he wasn't really a part of that, or a huge part of that, probably had a lot to do with it. But again, if you go back to December 2020, when Kathleen Kennedy first announced the Book of Boba Fett, she had talked about it being the next chapter of The Mandalorian. We had all assumed that it was basically, you know, they were talking about Mandalorian season 3. They were talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Mando season 3 comes at the end of this year because they're filming that right now. So the way you have to kind of look at that is going like, okay, obviously the Book of Boba Fett is an interlude to the return to Mandalore as a planet. Now, it's entirely possible that the Book of Boba Fett was simply done as a way to kind of like reform Boba's character and to establish a new team in order to, who knows, take on Thrawn, which is probably going to happen, or to take on whatever greater threat lays out there in the outer regions, or whatever is going to be coming, you know, with the old remnants of the Empire. Who knows what they have planning that's going on? A lot of people think it's going to be Heir to the Empire. I think it's going to be in name only, maybe some story elements, but that's going to be that. But what I'm wondering, though, is if at the end of the day, like this is going to kind of like just wipe out Tatooine in regards to it being a staple in Star Wars. You know, I saw a headline the other day that had said, you know, more or less that it's time to move past Tatooine. We've spent a lot of time on Tatooine. Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2, the Book of Boba Fett. Those have all dealt with Tatooine. Maybe it is time to move past that to some extent, because it's still a wide open galaxy full of places to check out. Mando, the show thus far has remained in the Outer Rim, so it has been kind of localized in regards to where it's at on the galactic map. Maybe it is time to move past that. And what's going to happen, and this is entirely possible, is that they lose the war with the Pikes. I know they're setting it up like it's an old Western, where they're setting it up to where there's going to be this massive fight, good versus evil, and that the evil is going to be vanquished. But I don't know. What if the evil actually wins? What if the Pikes ultimately take over, Tatooine, and they end up then having to run everybody else out? And if they run everybody else out, where are they going to go? Now maybe they've got like Crimson Dawn has put a price on their head. The Empire's put a price on their head. They're on the run from even the New Republic because the New Republic doesn't know what's going on and wants to bring them all in for questioning. And they're like, oh, F that noise. We don't want to deal with that. So there's a lot there that could really be like leading into this finale. But like I said, what we really want is for Boba to lose his shit and to go crazy and to kill a whole bunch of people. I know that may not be what other people want, but I'm telling you, that's what the fans deep down want. They want that action. If you're not going to have Jedi, then you've got to have a good blaster by your side, and you've got to be able to showcase that stuff because that's part of Star Wars. You got to do that. I don't know where the season finale is going to go. If it's going to be a series finale, if it's going to move into Mando season 3. Obviously, they established that's where things are going, and I would assume that they're not going to build Boba up just to leave him behind. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Not from a narrative standpoint, not from a financial standpoint, or anything like that. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this. I just wanted to make a quick little video talking about my thoughts about what I think is going to be in the Boba Fett season finale. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll be definitely talking about it on Hollywood After Dark this week, so look forward to that. And I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, and peace out.